Welcome back to my channel. In my previous video, I did a whole spiel about different food changes that I made to my everyday life in order for me to lose weight with PCOS. Today, I'm going to be talking about supplements and lifestyle changes I made that helped me lose weight with PCOS. If you watched my previous video, you know that I'm very against everyone trying to fit into a specific box, everyone trying to be a specific weight because someone tells them to be. My goal for this is for you to leave with tips that maybe you didn't think of before, or tips that maybe inspire you, and maybe nothing at all. But I just want you to leave knowing that you are able to think for yourself and be your own woman and be your own person and find a weight that makes you feel strong and healthy and happy. That might not be what a fitness magazine is telling you to do, but I think that was a massive lesson for me, and I'll get into that a little bit more in the video. Just a disclaimer, I am not a naturopath or a doctor, a nutrition or a dietitian. These are just tips that worked for me, and I am giving you my story. I also mentioned in my other video that I loved YouTubing and still love YouTubing women who have hormonal imbalances or PCOS to see things that worked for them. Sometimes I leave the video feeling ooh, I learned this and this. And then other times at the same time, I get a little bit triggered because I'm just ooh, that worked for them, but it's not working for me. What am I doing wrong? Or I hate my body. I can't believe it's not responding the way that that woman's body is responding. So again, tread through this video lightly and just know that I think you're amazing. And the comments that I got back on my last video were also just super positive. Everyone's helping each other, which is amazing. And if you haven't already, go look at the comments in the other video and you'll get you'll get many more tips from the women there that are sharing things there. And hopefully we'll do the same with this. So we'll get right into it. We'll start with the supplements that helped me, I guess, lose weight or control my weight with PCOS. So the biggest thing with PCOS is your insulin levels, which could be out of balance because your other hormones are out of balance. So your insulin levels kind of take over. So with me, I have a really high resting glucose level. It's not in the diabetic or pre-diabetic range, but it's right on the cusp of being pre-diabetic. So, which is kind of common for women who have PCOS. That's why a lot of us who have PCOS also have problems with our weight, with diabetes, etc. You guys know. So a supplement that really helped me, and I ran out of it and I'm gonna go get some today, is Berberine. Berberine is basically used for people who have diabetes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure, as it helps to control those levels. It helps to lower your blood glucose levels. And Berberine was recommended to me by my naturopath because she said that it helps a lot of women with PCOS control their insulin levels and their glucose levels. So I've been taking that for now, I'd say about a year, and it has worked wonders. The medical equivalent to Berberine is metformin. So if some of you are on metformin, Berberine is basically the natural version of metformin. Berberine has actually been proven to do the exact same and be as effective as metformin in lowering your glucose and your insulin levels, so and controlling those levels. So for me, I took metformin when I first got diagnosed with PCOS, and I just felt so nauseous all the time. It's it lowered my blood too low where you just felt hyperglycemic, whereas Berberine, I've never felt like that. I take it 3 times a day with each meal, preferably before your meal, and it just helps control those levels. All I know is this year's and last year's when I've started losing most of the weight, and that's when I've incorporated Berberine. So, maybe it's doing what it says it does. The second supplement is Vitex. It's not for everyone. It's only with women who have a dominance in estrogen, or a dominance in testosterone, and they're not equal, or too low progesterone. So something like this, you can get your bloods checked out from your doctor, who can just do one blood test that's able to see all your different hormone levels and see where they are, which is really important if you have PCOS, because you know which hormones you're lacking in or which you have too many of, and you can kind of cater your supplements to that specific hormone or hormones. For me, I have no progesterone, and you can go look at my hormone test, which I recommend everyone taking, but there's a video on my hormone test where it came back and I was like below menopausal, like I had none. So Vitex changes the emphasis in your body from estrogen to progesterone. So instead of your brain pumping in like excess estrogen into your bloodstream, it tries to balance those levels out and puts favor into progesterone so that you're kind of equaling out your hormone levels a bit. Because of this, I think that I've had my weight slightly under control a bit more because my hormones are in control, and because of that, your insulin is in control and all that stuff. The third supplement that I take every day is a probiotic. With myself, I've had a lot of antibiotic use in the past. I've been on antibiotics for like a million things. If you have PCOS, you're actually more susceptible to getting sick. Your immune system tends to be weaker than the average person. And because of that, not because of that, but a factor of that is me being ill like all the time. I also work with children, so that doesn't help. And because of that, yeah, I'm sick all the time, and if I get really ill, then I get put on antibiotics. And so my naturopath suggested taking a probiotic, which helps to just rebalance your gut health. And more studies are coming out that show the correlation between like a healthy gut health, healthy hormones, healthy mind, healthy everything. Like the new buzzword is like your gut. Am I right? There's like gut stuff everywhere. Taking a probiotic helps you to just take something that gives your body good bacteria to fight off the bad bacteria. And if that's gonna help your digestion, it's just gonna basically help your body on the whole. And I think with me and PCOS, I had a lot of problems with like a million digestive problems, and taking a probiotic doesn't help dramatically. Like, safe to say, honestly, that I've never taken any kind of probiotic, whether that's like really expensive or like quite cheap, and like in a few weeks been like, wow, like my digestive system is through the roof, I am thriving, I'm good. Like, I've never had that ever, but it's one of those things, like I mentioned in my other supplement video, when you remove it, that's when you see the difference. Like, soon as I stop taking probiotics, like I feel more bloated, I have more gas, like it's all those things, and probiotics helps with that. It helps you to like defeat that bloat, like to prevent that gas. Like, it just helps your digestive tract, and in turn that helps with a lot of other things in your body. So that's something really cool to incorporate. Just research a solid probiotic that you can afford, and if you can't afford it, no sweat, honey. Like, seriously, no sweat, because we all know we're spending like way too much on this PCOS train. At least I am. Way too much. And the last thing is not a pill that I'm taking, but one that I've removed. I no longer take birth control. When I stopped taking the pill, I finally feel like my healthy eating really took a turn for the better. I feel like on the pill, I just constantly had mood swings, and I felt bloated, and my digestion wasn't that great. And like, mind you, I had fantastic skin on the pill, but like a lot of other things just felt off. And so when I removed the pill, you also carry a lot of water weight when you're on the pill. Not that it matters so much, but when I went off the pill, like a lot of that water weight was removed. I feel like I had my original hunger back. Like, the pill, I just constantly felt hungry. When I went off the pill, I started to like feel full, not feel full. Like, I just could gauge my hunger a lot better. So that really helped me to lose weight as well, because no longer was I just like eating to eat and like getting these weird cravings, whereas I went off the pill, I don't really have that anymore. So that's actually it for the supplements, believe it or not. And like, if you were going to choose of the 4 things, like number 1, I would say get off the pill, which is free. And if you're gonna buy any of those supplements, I would definitely recommend the Berberine, because that is where I've seen like the most results. And it's not that expensive. Try and find it in bulk, like online. That's probably your best bet to like save money per capsule. So we're gonna go on to lifestyle changes that helped me lose weight. Number 1 is consistently working out or being active, but not overdoing it and not driving yourself into the ground. So before, if I was like dragging on my feet after work, I was like, must work out, need to work out, gonna go for like a 50-kilometer bike ride, gonna go for a swim. And like, that just sent me, I guess my hormones, like I mentioned in my workout video, that just like sends your hormones into overdrive, which actually does the exact opposite. Like I was gaining weight. So now I only work out like a few times a week, but I live like an active lifestyle. So like I walk a lot of places. I also have an active job. And I don't kill myself. So some weeks I can work out for 5 times a week. Some weeks once, twice. Some weeks not at all. So that would really upset me before, whereas now I'm just like going with the flow. Like, oh, today I have energy and I have the time, I'm gonna work out. Some weeks I literally am working from like 6 a.m. to like 8 p.m. and like exhausted, and then coming home and having to like cook and clean or whatever it is, and like there's not a second in the day. So I get it. I'm just telling you to like have some sympathy with yourself, have some empathy with yourself, and like don't get too down if you cannot work out like every single day. If you love working out every day, go work out every day. I'm just saying, do not be too hard on yourself. My next tip is to find activities that excite you. And like a lot of those things come with like group classes or like different group works. In Canada here, we have something called Class Pass, where you spend like a certain amount of money a month, but then you're able to go to any class around the city. So you can like switch up your workout. You can go to dance classes, cycling classes, swimming classes, like aqua aerobics, like tap dance classes, like there's even like Pilates or yoga or like, oh my gosh, weightlifting if that's your thing. Like there are so many different types of workouts, and it's about finding something that you get excited to go to the gym about. Now, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes like I go to the gym and I'm not excited to be there, and I'm just really like just not feeling it that day, and like that happens too. But on the whole, I tend to do things that like really excite me to work out. Like I love going to like Soul Cycle and like all that kind of stuff. I take it in moderation. That stuff's kind of expensive, but even like getting together with like a girlfriend and like putting on a YouTube, like there are so many YouTube fitness like activities. Like just go with your friend and like do a fun one. Like there are dance ones. We straight up dance for like 20 minutes with your friend or by yourself. Like that is so much fun to me. So find something like that for you. Next is, which I kind of touched on in my food weight loss video, but it's listening to your body and not listening to like a Fitbit or MyFitnessPal to tell you how many calories to eat. For some of you that are struggling with like caloric intake, I think like maybe MyFitnessPal, that's like a good starting point. But after that, I would just like delete it completely. When I use MyFitnessPal, I tend to eat according to the calories it's telling me to eat. So if I'm like really hungry, but I've eaten enough calories that day according to the app, I won't eat. Or if I'm like not really hungry, but I haven't eaten enough calories that day, I'll like eat anyway because the app said I can eat those calories. Last lifestyle tip is to just like really start to love your body. I know that's really cliche and hard to say, and it's hard for a lot of us, and a lot of us can be like, oh yeah, like I'm fine with my body, which is great, and I'm really truly happy for those of you, but it took a lot of time for me, and it still takes time for me even now to like really accept my body and try and listen to my body and what it can do, and work with it instead of against it, and always constantly putting it under scrutiny, constantly putting yourself down, getting upset if you gained or lost, or, you know, calorie counting and Fitbitting and dieting. And it's just like, it's just so, it makes me so sad, honestly. It makes me so sad that so many of us are like a complete slave to our own selves. And you know, we're right there if our friend is down about their bodies, like we're right there like pumping them up and like telling them like, you're just crazy, like you are an amazing person, like this does not matter. Whereas on ourselves, at least with me, I was so harsh on my body, and I still am sometimes. And I think once you start again letting go of all those things and starting to like really listen to yourself and taking it easy on yourself, you'll notice your relationship with food starts to change. Even if you don't, let's say, lose or gain per se, let's say you stay in the same way, like you will have like such a better relationship with food. You'd be surprised, like it's just one less thing to think of. Like you're not constantly thinking about all of this food. You're not constantly trying to like be this perfect person, and it just relieves a lot of stress from your life. You can be a better influence if you have like children, or if you work with other women. Like you could be that person that like inspires them to like be okay with themselves and like to not be so hard on themselves. And so that again is like the last tip. So if you know, we all have rough days, like honestly message me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram here. Like I talk to so many of you. Check out my Instagram if you want to chat, but even like on the comments below, like talking to people, or find like a PCOS group. There's so many on Facebook. Find a PCOS group where you can like talk to these things with people about. But I think the biggest thing is like finding a group of women that also do not partake in that like toxic, like fat dialogue. Like I noticed a lot of it when I was younger. Women would always be, oh my God, I'm so fat. Or like, I'm so fat, I need to lose 10 pounds. Or I can't have that, I'm on a diet. And like, most of my friends have grown out of that. There are still a few friends who are like in that mindset, which is like fine. They're like on their own path, but it's really beneficial for me to like remove myself from those conversations, because I don't want to partake in women who are like tearing themselves down. I don't think that's really a nice thing to do. And I also don't like to be part of those conversations, because then like you're also comparing yourself, and then you're like, well, wait, she's way thinner than I am and she wants to lose 10 pounds. Like, wait, what? And just like, just a bad vibe to be in. So if you have friends that talk in that dialogue, perhaps tell them to like talk about something else besides their weight. Or like if their weight is the issue, like just tell them to be like body positive and to like listen to themselves and like help them through it. But I really suggest not partaking in the whole like, oh my God, no, you don't need to lose 10 pounds. Like I need to lose 10 pounds. Like I hate that so much, like just knock it off. Like it's just so ridiculous, like that we are come down to like everything we talk about is like our weight, or like dieting tips, or like, you know, how to lose this. So the last one is like to surround yourself with people who are like very body positive and like are willing to like be just a healthy person, not someone who's like on a constant diet. And if you are surrounded by people like that, to like try and change their mindset too. Try to be that inspiration and try and change their perspective. So yeah, I hope these lifestyle and supplement habits have helped you a little bit. If you have any lifestyle habits or any supplements that you have taken for PCOS that has really helped you, please comment down below, because that not just helps me, but it helps everyone else in this community. And please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it, because it really helps support my channel. But other than that, I will see you all in my next video, which will be all these like healthy snack hacks that I have, like different like healthy chips and chocolate and like all that. So we'll get into that next time. But yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.